Welcome to latest world news. The military junta that seized power here last month has no plans to restore civilian rule anytime soon. But it has launched an official campaign to bring back something else it says this divided nation desperately needs: happiness. The project has involved free concerts, free food, alluring female dancers in suggestive camouflage miniskirts, even the chance to pet horses trucked into downtown Bangkok with makeshift stables and bales of hay. The fair-like events are supposed to pave the way for reconciliation after a decade of political upheaval and coups. But critics point out the feel-good project is being carried out alongside an entirely different junta-led campaign effort to stifle all opposition to the army's May 22 putsch, which deposed a government elected by a majority of Thai voters 3 years ago. The very first question you have to ask is, whose happiness are they talking about? Said Pavan Chachavalbongpan, a Thai professor of Southeast Asian Studies at Kyoto University who has refused to respond to a junta summons ordering him to return home and report to the army. "I'm sure this is not happiness for Thais who want a civilian government, whose rights were taken away by the coup," he said. "It's surreal. And it's ridiculous to believe this will create an environment conducive to reconciliation. That can't happen when the military is harassing, hunting and detaining its enemies." Although the junta has censored partisan media on both sides, it has begun prosecuting opponents and summoned hundreds of politicians, mostly those who supported the former government or were perceived as critical. The moves have forced some of the nation's most prominent activists and scholars to flee or go into hiding. At a junta-sponsored event on Wednesday in Bangkok, part concert, part street fair and armor truck operating as a mobile kitchen dished out thousands of free, happy omelets and rice. Doctors from a military hospital gave out free medicine and checked blood pressure. A line of soldiers with shields and face paint stood ready for crowds to snap selfies. The event drew mostly residents who supported the takeover, and it took place at a roundabout where just a few days earlier soldiers in riot gear had faced off against hundreds of anti-junta protesters. A satirical cartoon this week in the Thai daily The Nation portrayed the junta campaign this way: a lone anti-coup protester stands in front of a line of smiling tanks reminiscent of the iconic photo from Tiananmen Square in 1989. As two undercover policemen drag an anti-coup demonstrator into a taxi, a reference to recent, real-life incident in Bangkok. A smiling tank commander shouts through a megaphone, "Unhappiness will not be tolerated."